Hey guys, it's me, Sara Wiseman. Welcome to the program. Today we're talking about relating from soul. And of course, we're in the midst of a lot of change. Of course we are. This is, we talk about this is the time that we've been waiting for. Yeah, this is the time that we have all agreed to incarnate in this particular lifetime and show up and be a part of this massive, massive transition on the planet. So let's just dive into the teaching and then we're going to talk about it a bit. So again, we're reading from the Gabriel messages. Basically, I try and do one of these a week, except for when I do the monthly channeled forecast. And then as I have time, I do another couple podcasts in between. It just sort of depends on how things are going, because like you, I have a lot on my plate. For those of you who are interested in working with me, I teach directly. I teach spiritual intuition, which is psychic development and spirituality practices directly through my website, sarawiseman.com. So if you'd like to be in one of those groups, that's available. And I also have tons of $22 self-study courses that you can dive into and learn all about kind of like psychic development or spiritual development. It's sort of divvied up into those two sections. So that's all there. It's all at sarawiseman.com. Relating from soul. There are many who have come before, souls now in spirit form, ready to assist you. There are many who will come after, also here on the soul plane, who are waiting to hear from you. In your daily life, there are thousands, millions of encounters with person, place, thing, animal, memory, dream, journey, feeling, fact that you are called to relate to as soul. Not from mind, ego, personality, which is often puny, anxious, and vindictive, which is often lost, competitive, and misguided, which is often distracted and confused, but from your soul. Your true self in relationship to the true self of everything is what you are here for. This is what your lifetime requires of you, should you choose to accept. Your true self in relationship to the true self of everything. That's fairly profound. And it really cuts through sort of this idea that last time we talked about projections, like these ideas that we've created over the last centuries. Somebody thought of this idea, they put in this power structure, and suddenly we're stuck with it for, a couple hundred years. And a couple hundred years, I'm talking about the US, not the world civilizations in general, but this idea that when we let go of our projections, our attachments to how things used to be and how we thought they were going to be, and when we start to just sort of notice what's happening as we connect with everything, we really begin to have a different experience. And what I'm starting to notice is how easy it is for more people than used to be, how easy it is for more people to have this experience of connecting with everything. For example, in one of my student groups, we recently did this experiment where we connected with different objects. We connected with, I don't, these aren't the objects, but just we connected with a pen, or we connected with a tarot deck, or we connected with this really cool little Buddha head I have, or, just this very old solar calculator that I have. So we went in and we connected with these consciousness of what you'd consider a non-living being, right? And we've been taught that non-living things don't have consciousness. And yet when we went in meditation and connected to inanimate objects, we found that indeed there is personality, there is awareness, there is often very clear communication, either through emotion or memory or some of the other ways, like the soul language comes in. And so this idea of relating to everything as soul, rather than relating to everything as mind, ego, personality as one thing, like here's how it is, this is how I was raised. Of course we believe this because our religion or our culture or our background told us that. And just sort of noticing how things really are. Like some of you, like going back a little bit in American culture, like, Ram Dass was really famous for saying, the be here now, and he has his book about that. But he was not, Ram Dass was not the first person to come up with that idea. He was just the first person to really bring it forward in a really valuable, acceptable way that people of his time and place could understand. This idea of going into relaxed state, sort of resting in divine space and feeling the energy and vibrancy of everything. Now, if we go back to different teachers that maybe are more well known than Ram Dass, if we go back to like Jesus or Buddha or the Tao or the many other big religions with these strong contemplative or stillness or awareness practices, we find it's really the same. This idea of dropping out of attachment of all your thoughts and opinions and settling into what is. And I find, one thing I find kind of interesting is sometimes the people that you think are the most shallow and the most wrapped up in, say, I don't know, like celebrity culture, say you've got somebody super into that. And sometimes that ability to focus on, say, celebrity culture is really that person's, I'm just going to go on a limb here like that. It's that person's ability to sense actually what's going on. Those celebrities are kind of like our archetypes set up for us to observe. What's this archetype doing? What's this archetype doing? And often people who really follow that stuff and really track on it are often like super psychic. What they're doing is they're tuning into what the archetype is showing, the celebrity showing whatever they're doing, and they're also tuning into what is actually happening for that person behind the archetype. So the archetype might also be a projection, but that they're seeing the archetype. Okay, interesting. This is what I'm being asked to see. And then they're going behind the archetype to the person who's sort of hiding out, like anxiously hoping the archetype will be accepted. And then they're going behind that and able to create this soul level awareness with this celebrity or this politician or this whoever is in the public eye that's trying so hard to let their projection, save them, right? They're so hard to put their projection out there so that nobody will look behind at the personality that's not doing that great, or and certainly nobody will look to the deeper soul that is just like every other soul. So just considering that as you look at the people like the newsmakers, the people in the public eye a lot, and it's really you're just watching all these projections put up like a little puppet show, and behind that is the person, the puppet master of their own projection, and behind that is the soul self. And the soul self has no armor, right? The soul self cannot armor up and hide itself. The soul self is just pure blazing light from the heart. Even people with personalities that are kind of yucky, to put it mildly, right? At the soul level, there's a purity. At the soul level, there's a purity, even if it's disguised by layer after layer after layer of really yucky personality or really, really rough projection. And so we can, as souls, when we relate to the soul, we can go in, we can go past our own projection, whatever we have going on for that. Hopefully you don't have much projection. Hopefully you've come to a place in your life where you just don't have much need for that. Like for me, just like, oh my God. Okay, so obviously I don't do a great video setup. I don't have flashy graphics. Um, it's like I'm doing everything wrong, basically. That's fine. And I don't really care because my intention or my hope is that I am connecting to you from soul aspect, not from projection. I kind of don't even care about projection, or not very much at least. And I have a personality, obviously, but I'm really trying to get to this place like, can we just connect from this blazing heart light to each other? Can we? And can I take that to the people in my, daily life or world? And can you take that there? And of course, can we use this relating from soul to soul? Can we use this to connect with the souls, even of those people who have massively strong projections? Can we get past the armor and get past so we get past the projection? Can we get past the personality barriers, all those attachments there? Can we get to the deeper place? So we're trying to do this for ourselves. Can I show up in the world? I don't think we can get rid of our personalities, but we can soften it. They don't need to be that important. But everyone has a personality. It's not that important to pay that much attention to it. We use our personality as a way of as a tool for our gifts to be in contribution. So I think what I want to do now is, I'm not sure, I think I want to do Pendulum actually. I was thinking about that. So we haven't done this for a while. I'm going to bring out one of my trusty pendulums. And trying to think what questions we might want to ask. I don't always use this. Sometimes I like it. I was just like ready to, let me put it up a little higher. Um, is the world going to be okay? And that's a yes. Is conflict in the world going to settle down? That's a yes also. As souls, are there things we can do to contribute to world stability? And that's like a pretty big yes, right? As souls, should we connect with other souls at the soul level? Yes, it's not as strong though. I don't think that's quite right. Now it's going to neutral. Is our answer going to be through our actions? No. Is our action going to be through our minds? No. Is the answer going to be through our consciousness? It's changing. Is the answer going to be through our collective consciousness? And it's really going now. Will humans communicate with other species? Yes. Will this happen soon? Yes. Is it happening now? Yes. Are extraterrestrial beings here now? Yes. Are they beneficial or helpful? Yes. Are we already in contact with them? It's just like jumping off the table. It's just jumping around. Yes. Do we have anything to fear from the current political situation? No. Is the current political situation somewhat besides the point? It's neutral now. So is the current political situation something we're learning from? Yes. Is the current political situation something we're evolving through? Yes. Okay, and that's what my arm hurts now. So my arm doesn't hurt from the pendulum in general, it's just from holding it up to the screen. So interesting, interesting. So I think for me, the use of all of the psychic tools that I look into things for, so I use the clairvoyant rose, I use working with the guides, I use channeling, I use sometimes working with the departed, I use communication with all beings. I'll use tools such as the pendulum, not as my fastest tool, because for me it's more in clairvoyance, but and everything is saying, regardless of how things are right today, regardless of how things are right today, the bigger picture is we're moving through this and things are going to be okay pretty soon. Like you, I find it hard to sort of settle my anxiety. Like I know all this, and yet then I read all those projections coming in, and then I'm also aware of some the ways that humans have been very cruel to each other over time and over the past and in recent time frame. And I feel that we have a deep responsibility to each other. I feel we have a deep responsibility to be kind to each other whenever we can, because we don't know what the other person is facing or dealing with. And I think we, especially if we're in positions of any kind of privilege or power, or in the current caste system that is the US, if we're anywhere near those top levels of privilege, we are required by our ethical selves to assist others that maybe don't have the advantages. This is a big topic, and I want to talk about this a lot because it's something I'm really passionate about, this idea that there is no hierarchy of souls. All humans have complete equality. All species have extreme complete value. And I want to discuss this more, but we're getting to the end of our time. I want to read this little bit. Oh, it looks like as I look at what we're heading into in the teachings, actually, it's going to discuss just this. But relating from your soul, relating from your true self in relationship to the true self of everything. And whenever you see that projection coming at you, you just go, okay, there's the projection. That's what they want me to see. I'm going to go under. There's the personality. It's struggling. And then we're going to go deeper into the soul of that person, whether we know them or they're someone in public eye. There's the soul there. That's the part I'm going to connect with. That's the part. That's the only part that even matters. The rest is just transitory. The soul always stays. Okay, thank you, everyone. You will find me at sarawiseman.com. And please comment and ask, say your opinion. I love to hear what people are thinking.